I just paid 3 bills just now with my own debit card. Like the independent black woman I don't want to be.
I don't want to be INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? That means independent, motherfucker. I don't want to be independent anymore.
You know, I don't want to be a strong, independent woman. I think we have enough strong, independent women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit anymore. This shit is draining.
You know, have dinner ready for your husbands when they got home from work. That is all I want to do.
But no, you thought everyone wanted to be independent.
I don't want to be independent.
So it just sounds like to me that women fought to be independent. They fought to work. Why the fuck would you fight to work? What? If I was a girl, I'd want to be treated like a bad bitch.
Sensational.
A lot of times she doesn't know that she's been pretty much disqualified from being a serious girlfriend from the beginning because she has tendencies that aren't attractive to me. But the problem is that so many women think acting like a guy, chasing a career, being masculine, being dominant, being competitive, let me challenge you, all this shit is attractive. It's not. Yeah. And I tell girls all the time on the podcast, all right, so you think it's attractive for you to be a boss babe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, you know what? How about this? How about on Saturday nights, I wear heels and I wear a dress. Would you go out with me? Ew, no. Fantastic. That's exactly how men feel when you talk about you being a boss babe and competitive. Oh my God, no, it's not. It is the same because a masculine woman is just like a feminine man. But here's the craziness. Women expect you, right, to be masculine, right? And they can pick and choose when they want to be feminine. And you're supposed to accept them no matter what. But if I act feminine, right, maybe on a Saturday, they would never accept me. So what men want is considered discrimination. What women want is considered standards.
They all bought the feminist lie of, you don't need a man and a family, have a satisfying career. For time immemorial, a woman's career was her husband and family. Feminism in the 60s ruined that idea. Women now think, I'll settle down and have a family after I've got my career. But by the time their career is going, they're too damned old to marry and have children. As a woman ages, so do her eggs. Old eggs don't make for healthy babies. Because they fell for the feminist mantra, and men aren't attracted to females who are basically a clenched fist with hair, let alone females who have hit the wall in their 30s. Men need that fresh water to plant our seed in fertile ground. Not an old broad-used woman with a beat-up uterus who hates men, but now wants to use him to work for her. These boss babes have brought it on themselves. By being all feminist, and I'm an independent woman, I don't need you mentality. They make themselves unattractive. Men don't want women to need them, but at least recognize that it is nice to have a guy around. We want friendship as much as we want lovers. Even amongst platonic guy relationships, if a guy is an asshole, he won't be wanted in the group for very long. Through their own selfishness, women have lost the capacity to understand that not all men are assholes. Some of us are generally just good-natured, easygoing kind of people who are not looking for drama or someone with a competitive nature. We get enough competition at work and amongst the guys. We are looking for someone who we can settle down with on a cold winter night and watch a movie with, or snuggle in bed naked because the sheets are cold. Someone secure enough within themselves to not need someone to fix so that you can feel better about yourselves. I don't need someone to agree with my kids that I am the worst father they have ever had, when the very opposite is true. If you are alone, then you have no one to blame but yourself. If every teapot has a lid, maybe your lid found a different teapot for obvious reasons. What I'm about to say is really going to shake up a hornet's nest on me, I'm sure, but I try not to shy away from the truth that I have experienced personally, or have read from reputable sources. So that being said, here goes. The majority of today's feminists are not good wife material. 5 generations ago, feminism was the right to vote, the right to own property, the right to decide your own destiny, basic human rights stuff. Very noble and needed stuff for the world to advance into a technical age where mass killings of civilians in the hundreds of thousands or even millions are very rare events these days. Sadly, feminism veered wildly off course about 30 years ago and was never corrected. So what are feminists doing wrong, you ask? 1. Feminism today is starting to sound like a supremacy movement. In fact, they are starting to sound a lot like old Nazi Germany propaganda of the late 1930s. You know, the stuff they used to soften up the population to accept the final solution, Holocaust, as normal. If you think I'm over-exaggerating this point, use Google and look up these terms and read a few articles deep. Castrate all males, kill all males, femdom, or how to feminize your man. Just reading the website link, female dating strategy on Reddit should scare off most young men from any serious thoughts of getting married. 2. Feminism has a real image problem. If you ask most men under the age of 40 if the following description of a modern feminist is accurate: angry, unreasonable, tattoo-covered, leftists with weird-colored hair, and most likely on pharmaceutical assistance for some kind of mental condition, a large number of men would probably agree with this. Today's feminist stalwarts have become the punchline for a joke that really is marginally funny at best. It's sad. The movement is more important and deserved better than to be hijacked by a bunch of comically narcissist bunch of nutjobs. Feminism is a very adversarial and antisocial ideology, and feminists view themselves and reality through that ideological lens. You ask your wife to make you a sandwich, and she takes offense. She asks you to make her a sandwich, and you ask her what kind she wants. If you don't agree with her on something political, her entire view of you will be turned upside down in an instant, without any consideration for the human behind the opinion. They are often unable to handle any perspective outside of their own, and they are very quick to uncritically accept any new information that has a progressive lean to it. Feminism is a cult that only humanizes people who agree with them and dehumanizes people who don't. They use that tactic to sway people further and further into their ideology, and by the time you realize that I'm right, you've already been painted as the villain for trying to save her from going down that road. When dating for sex, feminists are perfect. When dating for a wife, they are the exact type of women that emotionally mature, financially successful and attractive men avoid like the plague. The sad truth is that modern feminism teaches the opposite of what men desire from their wives. Men don't want a slave, but they deeply want to feel needed by someone attractive and fit, who puts their trust into him to provide and protect, emits an aura of peace, and nurtures them towards becoming a greater version of themselves and building a family, a legacy together against the world. Some women still dream of taking over this traditional role, but they are getting increasingly rare. The reality of modern feminism for most women manifests itself to be constantly combative, independent, aka trust issues, letting go of physical health and attractivity, because you are perfect the way you are, and avoid ever being peaceful by getting some meaningless 9-to-5 job, in which 80% of the time she will come home for 60 years complaining about some co-worker, boss, customer, being a drone, a gear wheel in a machinery that does nothing but fill the pockets of a few rich people at the top, a soulless entity that will kick her out the second two numbers don't add up. Feminist women have never ever even asked themselves how men work, what they want, and what they are looking for when trying to find a wife. They will look at you as if a zebra's head is poking out of your bottom if you ask them any of these questions. I have yet to meet a feminist who isn't absolutely blackout oblivious about males' basic biological nature. Just ask them what positive masculinity is and prepare for getting everything but an actual answer in return. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.